Hello Neighbor is not a game I mock because it's quite frankly a game that I grew up with, and it has a lasting impact for me. The pre-alpha, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4 and all of the above. Of course, I do, and I have said many times that I have not played the final release, but I really want to. And the thing is with Hello Neighbor is that it's mostly mocked for its cartoony style and being very child friendly. But is that a bad thing to be child friendly? To me, at least, it just shows how much talent someone has, because doing something not gory and just to fit for a younger audience is just quite hard. The only other game series that I can say is child friendly and it doesn't deserve to be mocked is developers, games like Slendrina, Granny and such. But Hello Neighbor is more criticized because unlike Slendrina or Granny, those are both mobile games, Hello Neighbor is a piece. It's a computer, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, all of the above game. It's a game that's small because despite all of the luxury that gamers with PCs and everything have for being so kid friendly and graphics being so cartoony, but I wouldn't say it's the worst of mascot horror, which I feel like, considering like making Hello Neighbor mascot horror is not something I would do. I will just put it as an indie horror game, not a freaking mascot horror where everything like Five Nights at Freddy's, Bendy and the Ink Machine and such are like supposed to be mascots, because they take the real life mascots and make them scary or in game form. Like they remodel it, take the concept of the mascots and just make it a game, changing the characters but having similar ideas. Like with Bendy the Ink Machine, it was quite frankly probably a Mickey Mouse take a mascot. Probably, I don't know really. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Freddy, Five Nights at Freddy's is always a Chuck E. Cheese inspired game. But Hello Neighbor, what makes it mascot horror? This is a question I don't personally know, and quite frankly, I don't consider it mascot horror. But I think it's very hard to realize for some people why did Hello Neighbor end up like it did. And if you want to go to look at the full history of Hello Neighbor, I recommend watching a very great and solid video made by by Vince. If you want a story of how Hello Neighbor evolved into what it is today, I very much recommend watching Vince's video. It's a very great documentary about Hello Neighbor and such, and I want you guys to support that channel because it has very good potential. But again, back to Hello Neighbor. What makes Hello Neighbor special? Maybe because it's a mouse cat type game, or maybe because of its puzzles, parkour and everything else. To me, what makes it special Yes, of course, all of those things, but its talent of not being super gory, very violent, and just making a child-friendly game that anyone can enjoy. But I think that's why people were driven away, because they expect it to be like, let's say, the first two alphas, the pre-alpha, alpha 1, not counting alpha 2, because I personally, a lot of people claim that the best. It's the worst, my opinion. It's way too short, and it's not the alpha I enjoy. A video of it is coming soon, I promise. But Hello Neighbor, like, it started promising. I'll admit I like the prototype look the best. I have played fan games about the prototype because, let's be honest, despite how much I wanted to be released, we're never getting that version released. But I think why people were such disappointed by the final game and where the alphas went is, yes, it's major due to the publisher I forgot the publisher's name. I know the makers of the game, Dynamic Pixels, or now there's something with Ravens, I can't remember, but oh, Tiny Build. Yes, Tiny Build just wanted to make quantity over quality, but it's also because people were expecting something else. They were expecting something completely else instead of the game that we originally got. So many theories were made, especially MatPat made many theories about like the neighbor made the the neighbor made a contract with the devil itself, but it was just a theory, and I think people just took it way too much to the heart, and what they saw was probably disappointing. But I want to say something before I end this video. I know it's very short, but it's just something. I love the Hell Neighbor series for what it is, for the memories of watching 8-Bit Rhyme, Markiplier, FTTV and other channels playing it, and getting to play the alphas myself, especially the fourth one, Alpha 4. It's my favorite to play. It's not the best will be either the pre-alpha or Alpha 1, but I think we need to think about it more, and to realize that Hello Neighbor is a game that has so much talent behind it, but it's overshadowed by its many bugs and how people were expected a different game, but we got something completely else, and I just want the Hello Neighbor series to be something like the pre-alpha or the prototype, but I think to where the game is, and with the Hello Neighbor 3 being on its way, I think it's a solid start. The Hello Neighbor 3 screenshots and photos look very solid, and I hope that Hello Neighbor will one day become the very big franchise and a game series that is at least somewhat as good as its show, because I know that the Hello Neighbor show is like considered big by Pastra, Wilchermain, and like half of an hour video about him. Hello Neighbor is the worst of mascot horror, and yes, the game is not very like horror, but you know, there's some scary parts to the game. But yeah, I'll be uploading maybe tomorrow, this day, one more video. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.